Well, welcome back. Examining voting rules. The Senate Judiciary Committee holding a hearing tomorrow on what it's calling the latest assault on the right to vote, which is set to focus on Georgia's new voting law. Joining me right now for a preview is Tennessee Senator on the Judiciary Committee, Marsha Blackburn. Senator, it's great to have you this morning. Thanks very much for joining us. There has been a lot of confusion around this Georgia law, so please set the record straight for us and preview your upcoming committee meeting.
Yes, Maria, basically what the Democrats would like to do is have Tuesday's hearing be a time for Stacey Abrams and Georgia Democrats to say that voter ID is racist. And what we know, what I've heard from Tennesseans, is they want to make voter fraud very difficult. They want to have voter ID and verification. They do not want to have wholesale mail-out ballots. They think that one person, one vote should be preserved, and that should be our goal. Legal votes count. Illegal votes do not count.
Well, I mean, why is this so hard to figure out? Why did corporate America like Delta Airlines and others come out and say that they're against this law? Major League Baseball taking the All-Star game out of Georgia. What did they not understand about this Georgia law? And by the way, President Biden also came out and called it Jim Crow 2.0.
It is perplexing that they got so far off track as to what is actually in this law. And Tennessee has worked long and hard to clean up its voter rolls and to make certain that legal votes are protected, that everyone has the opportunity to vote. We have an incredibly long early vote period, and we want everyone to get to the polls and cast their vote and those to be counted. But how in the world these corporations got so far off track and never even read the bill? When you look at Georgia extending their early vote, when they have found another way for voter ID verification rather than signature verification. But what the bill does do is allow local governments to clean up their voter rolls, and everyone should be for that, Maria. Your local county election commissions are the ones responsible for cleaning up those voter rolls when people are deceased or when they move. And also, you don't want every database from every different component of the state put into the voter database, because you have people from out of state who do business in your state, or they come into the state for school, and you do not want them erroneously entered into the voter database.
Right. And all of this we saw take place in the 2020 election. One of the reasons that Georgia changed its laws, people do not trust what took place. And that's why we're seeing this change. There's another voting law moving through the legislature in Florida as well. So wouldn't it be nice to have the president come out and clarify his comments so that corporate America and the MLB understand better clearly what you're saying? But to have the leader of the free world come out and say that these Jim Crow 2.0 laws are what we're talking about is, I don't know if it's a lie, it's uninformed or what it is, but should he come out and clarify that?
There should be clarification that we all want everyone to vote. There has been record voter turnout in recent years. I think that's a good thing, and that should be encouraged. But making it easy to cheat, having voters listed in a voter roll when they do not even live in the state, those are things we should all stand against.
Of course. Okay, let's turn to the spending, massive spending coming out of this administration. The president is going to be meeting with another group of bipartisan lawmakers today to discuss his massive $2.3 trillion spending bill. Republican Texas Senator John Cornyn said some Senate Republicans would be open to a much smaller $800 billion package with a focus solely on infrastructure. Is that something that you would be interested in signing?
Maria, we have been interested in having a long-term transportation or highway bill or infrastructure bill, but this Biden boondoggle is only 6% on roads and bridges and highways and interstates and components that you would call infrastructure. Indeed, if you put the electric grid and broadband and ports and airports and waterways into it, you only get to 37% of the bill. So let's focus on infrastructure. That is what people want to see. We have counties in our state that want to repair roads and bridges, and they are not able to because of federal regulation. I'm saying let's lift those regulations and let them repair these roads and bridges without federal government interference.
Well, is this more of a Green Deal than anything else, this so-called infrastructure package? You say that it's only 6%. This order calls for a carbon-free electricity by 2035, zero emissions for government vehicles, Climate Corps providing 3 million jobs to young climate crusaders. So this is the Green New Deal then?
Yes, this is the Green New Deal, and it is more of an energy bill. You have more money in this so-called infrastructure bill for Green New Deal components and electric cars. There's more money for electric cars than there is for highways. It is astounding that they think they can get by with this.
Well, who's running things? I mean, look, the president said that he's also planning to withdraw all U.S. troops from Afghanistan by September 11th, a day marking 20 years since the 9/11 terrorist attacks. President Trump promised a withdrawal by May 1st, Senator, but you've got the world now testing this administration. He's talking about Afghanistan, but you've got Iran digging in, saying we're going to continue enriching uranium. You've got China on the ground in Hong Kong laying the law down, Russia circling the wagons on Ukraine. What is going on in terms of foreign policy with the president saying they're going to cut defense spending when you compare it to the inflation rate?
It is inconceivable that we would cut defense spending, which is what he is proposing, because we have great power competition going on. And when you look at the new axis of evil with Russia, China, Iran, North Korea, Russia that is amassing troops right there on the Ukraine, China that is building out this deep water navy, more ships than we have, and we don't have enough money to hit our goals. This needs to be a revisit. There is money.
Well, we're talking about the Green New Deal. We're spending on the Green New Deal while China has a bigger Navy than the U.S. Marsha Blackburn, thank you so much for laying it all out for us.